Once I had 2 kids, I started to hang around more dads that had more than 1 kid. And it was just like, you don't resonate with my situation. Like, yo, you want me to come to your birthday party, but y'all not starting until 7 p.m. Bro, my kids are asleep. Yeah. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another edition of Dads on Purpose, the podcast, man. I'm your host, Josh Ashford. And as always, I got the big homie, KB, Mr. Kevin Brigance. Mo, how you doing, bro?
What's up, baby? It's always good to be here on Dads on Purpose podcast with my brother, Josh. How are you, bro?
Man, I am fantastic. For anybody watching on YouTube, I started this intro, and as soon as I started, man, Casey froze. And I was like, bro, we're going to have to do this again. But, we have, man, quote unquote, the dad of Canada. Like, the dad, straight out of Toronto, straight out of the 6, man, Drake's best friend. I don't know. Casey, how you doing, bro?
I'm good. The 6 of my woes, as they say, but, you know, things are good up here.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. We're international now. You're our first international guest. I told Kev, like,
that's dope.
I told Kev a couple months ago when I was looking at like our stats and whatever, I was just like, yo, we got people in Spain listening to our podcast, and by people I mean one. And I was like,
we got person in Spain.
I was like, bro, we international now.
We're international
now. We
are official. We are official.
Blup, blup, blup. That's what we do up here. That's what we do up here. My bad.
Wait, what did you do? What did you do? Because I want to bloop, bloop, bloop.
I said bloop, 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 bloop. I was like, wait, that's what we do up here.
That's like a mix between like the Jamaicans and Haitian, like bloop, bloop, bloop.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that too, but I'll let you talk about it.
No. Tell me.
No, okay. Well, basically, you know, with the Black population in Canada, Black Canadians come from all over the place. We come from a mixture of like 200 plus different ethnicity we have here is Jamaicans. So both my parents are Jamaican. They came from Jamaica back in the 70s. And so a lot of my mannerisms are a mix between like, you know, being Canadian and being in this culture here, and also things that came from back at. And like, you know, we mix it all together to come up with our own individual Canadian styles. So that's why.
So basically, it's not as funny as I thought.
It's not.
It's like a legit story. It's like a legit story. Like it's not as.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yo, but no, man, I'm stoked to have you on this show. Before we came on, y'all, we were just talking about like how much I love Canada, specifically Montreal, because that's the only place I've been. But man, I can't wait to get back. But I was doing some just like thinking about like the difference between the US and Canada and blah, blah, blah. And obviously like there's a million of them. And Casey is like the dad. Well, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there yet. But like
it's so much.
Little bit, but no. So like Casey's like the dad that helps father step up, right? Cool. And I was like thinking, I was just like, yo, I was like, he's got a couple kids. And I remember when I was up there was a lot of people talking about like, yo, moms get a whole year off for maternity leave. Or they can get up to, whatever. It was something like that.
Up to 18 months, actually. Just
how much?
Putting it out there.
Wow.
Up to 18 months, up to a year and a half. 12 months pay. It depends on who you work for, but 12 months paid, 6 months out for yourselves, like in your family situation. But yeah, up to 18 months.
Wow.
So is it common, because I got more questions, but is it common for someone to have like a kid, be on maternity leave, get pregnant and have another kid while they on, and then like just like be gone for like 2 years?
Like when you say common, you're talking like that's just not the way we do things. Like I'm people just do other things where it's like, no, let's have a break between these kids so we can. Nah, man. Honestly, the rollover is crazy. Like honestly, you just kind of assume it in. Like if you have someone that come and tell you they're pregnant, you start mapping you have to guarantee that job after they take the maternity leave. So, it could be 12 months, 18 months. And yes, in that time, you could have very much another kid come along. And you just have to take that in as a real risk. There's nothing you can do about it as a corporation. You just resources and be like, let's just figure this out. Let's just get people in, roll them over on like 3-month contracts until we're good. But yes, all the time, man. All the time.
Wow.
Bro,
Wow.
that's crazy. What are y'all taxes like? Because I'm like taxed at like, I don't know what my taxes are. My account handles that, but
you don't. How do you just not know that? That's, dude. Like I know. Like we have the national tax bracket, the federal tax bracket. We have the provincial tax brackets. And all together, before I do stuff like donations and other things, that taxable income down, it's about 50%, just shy of it. 47 to 50% of our earnings go to tax, and then you just work your way to like making sure you're doing things to not get hit so hard. The tax man comes a second time for the rest of what they didn't get for the first time. Ooh, Canada, love it.
So here's my thing. I'm like, yo, if you're taxed at 50%, and like, I'm not trying to put all your business out there, but so Casey bought his house a long time ago, long time ago. He got in before it was like expensive, but now his house is like the area's worth like 1.2-ish, 4-ish. And so I'm like, if you tax at 50%, how do you buy, bruh?
You don't buy.
So basically,
no.
It ain't no
we are in straight inventory now. Like I'm putting money away for my kids is just kind of like just to make myself feel better, right? Like when they get old enough to buy their own property, I'm like, you better be going to like Kalamazoo or something. You have to go to like Alaska. You have to go out and find something out there. I have nothing for you over here, man.
Right.
Holy.
That's crazy.
Anyway, Kev, you got anything before we get into this podcast, man?
No, man, I'm just excited to have Casey on, man. I have been seeing Casey hanging out, man. We do the Fatherhood Lounge on the Clubhouse Thursday nights at 10 p.m., man. And he's been like the faithful brother to be on there, man, and hang out with us, and also help me moderate that room. And so, man, I have so much love and respect for Casey and what he's trying to do, and well, not what he's trying to do, but what he's doing in Canada for fatherhood, and especially Black fathers. And I really just appreciate his spirit. Like I appreciate his just who he is as a person. So, Casey, man, thank you for being on, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
He almost fell out.
I think this is gonna be a good night.
Man, hey Casey, man, yo, you freezing up on us, like.
I know my internet sucks. It's just bad. I'm just like, I don't want to cut
Canada,
right to reset my internet, but there's gonna be moments where I'm just kind of like, and then yeah.
So y'all just gonna have to deal with it. Yo, if he's dropping some gems, y'all just gonna have to like piece them together and figure out what he was saying.
We're gonna do like it's puzzle piece.
I don't know what you just said just there.
All right. I mean, hey, if you guys want, I can reset my internet. If you guys want to take 2 minutes, I can take.
No, because then you're gonna be gone, and then it's like. Let me ask Kev a very thought-provoking question, and you can but listen, we're just gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna do how we do, and if it's good, it's good. If it's bad, it's bad. It is what it is. I'm gonna get some clips, and we're gonna be.
Hey, that's what I love. That's what I love about our podcast, man. That's what I love about our podcast. We could be who we are.
So I set it up a little bit, man, because I was like, like Casey's the dad. He helps dad step up. And then I talked about a little bit about the maternity leave and things like that, man. But I think that's a conversation that needs to be had about dad stepping up during maternity leave. And I think it's like. Yeah, you didn't know I was gonna go here. I didn't either. It's the one.
Ceramic solo cups and all, man.
Hey, hold on, listen to it. but no. So it's not. So my My wife decided she wants to go outside. That's what that sound was. Y'all hear her? I don't think she knows we're recording.
This is the wackest podcast I've been on in a hot minute.
Bruh. Anyway.
Hey. Cheers to you guys.
No, bro, but that's what I love, man, because I think just in this day and age, bro, especially we were talking about social media, man, like people try to make life seem ain't what it really is. You feel me?
Yeah.
And we're just real on here, man. Like we got spouses, we got kids, we like things happen, life happens.
Dogs.
We got wine, and life just happens, bro. And we just roll with the punches, man. And so I really just want to talk about like dad stepping up, especially during that maternity leave time, especially like new dads, because you don't know what you don't know until you don't know it.
Yeah.
And especially in that time, man. And I'm just like, I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. I love the fact that you guys, get up to 18 months, which is like bananas. Shout out to the US, not. For my wife, she got 6 weeks maternity leave. I don't know if it was paid or not, but I remember she came to me and she was just like, hey, she's like, I want to take a couple more weeks. It's going to be unpaid. Are we going to be okay? And praise God that like, yo, I had it, that we were fine. I was like, yeah, take that. And I'm like, yo, that's stupid. But my question, man, is just like, what are some things that, dads really don't think about stepping up during that time? But for you guys, it's great because moms get so much more time to adjust, to heal, to recover. Because, bro, I've been in the living room for one, and then the other one we had a C-section. Neither one of those were easy, and both the recovery. Your body is going through some stuff, and so I'm like, yo, like, how is dads, bro? Like, Kev, pop in too. I know it's been a minute. You know what I'm saying? Kendall's like, but like, what are some things during that time, during that new phase when it's a brand new baby, like that we can do to like really just step up and be that spouse, that parent that we really should be, man.
You know what? I think a lot of it is just being patient. Well, a lot of patience, a lot of, understanding that you're going to have to really just get in there to support and make sure that you are willing to go above and beyond to help. I've kind of come up with a bit of a theory lately in that, if dads were to stick around till like 6 of that baby's life, less dads would leave. And I say that because like my first 6 months
why 6?
My first 6 months were hard. Like I remember just feeling like a secondary player or like a third wheel in the family.
Yeah.
For 6 months, where just kind of like, my son needed my wife in order to feed, and my wife her life was basically all about the baby because, she's healing and she's doing everything she can. And, you're on high alert all the baby's sleeping right, feeding right, all these other things. But I remember that, it was about 6 months in, which was the first time I came home from work and my eldest son smiled because I was in the room, not because of something playing somewhere else. He saw my face and he's like, it's daddy. Like he saw it in his eyes. And I was like, that was a moment where I realized everything was going to be all right. Because before then I was just kind of like, I don't know how I can, however long. But after that, then it's like, cool. And with the second one, I was like, I was an old hand by that point. I just, I feel like I did everything right with the second one when he was a baby, where the first one I was just kind of like, well, yeah, air quotes. But it's like, I was a lot more comfortable the second time around. Definitely.
I just got a philosophy, man. Like people are just like, oh, what are some tips you have for dads about raising kids? And I'm like, bro, like I literally wake up every day and I'm like, oh, they're alive. Cool. Let's make it through this day. Like it's like, oh, you're hungry. I need to feed you. Like, cool. Right. Okay. Oh, you need a diaper. Okay, cool. Oh, you need to go to the bathroom. Okay, cool. Let's take care of that. Like, I just need to make sure you're a functioning human being.
Yeah.
And somewhere along the way, I'm going to teach you some life skills and we're going to have a good time. But I just need you to stay alive. Like, don't eat any leaves. FYI, if your child eats a dry leaf, it's $100 at the emergency room. Not for you guys in Canada, but here in America,
for y'all, yeah,
it's $100. Just FYI.
Man,
I mean,
I really tried to think about, man, because working with teen fathers and also just working with dads and coaches, but it's specifically younger fathers, young man, 20s, 25s, 30s. Hey, bro.
I had a kid at 30. So you saying I'm young?
Bro. Hey, bro. She tired. When she said she tired, hey, bro, she tired. Just go ahead and let her go to sleep. You know what I mean? Hey, man, you need to go in the garage, get you some jump ropes, get you some dumbbells, get you something to work out because she's tired. And I think I think this is real because I try to bring out the things that we really don't talk about, but sexual frustration is gonna come. Like bro, first 6 months, like her body needs to heal. She's trying to cope. Postpartum syndrome is really high in that moment because she's also having to care for a new human being that she's been with. And I get it, fellas. Like, some women bounce back and they ready, but some women, you just have to be patient with her and know that, she still loves you, and she still wants you. But right now she's tired. Her body is tired. And it's producing things for the baby. The next thing that I would say and talk about is the breast milk. Breast milk is the best milk in the whole wide world. Like, if you don't know nothing else, if you have a kid and they say, do you know how to change a diaper? No, but I know something about breast milk. Breast milk is the best milk in the whole wide world. That's what got me started working with teen fathers here in Tarrant County and Fort Worth. There was a program, and they were trying to see how they can raise awareness with breast milk and feeding and getting them kids to have breast milk. And so they decided to go the route of reaching out to young fathers and how to get young fathers involved. And so, as you know, when fathers, number one, are involved, the stress levels are down. But not only that, it helps encourage breastfeeding because have you guys tried breastfeeding?
Yeah, I mean, I can raise my hand, but it's a podcast.
I mean, your wife tried breastfeeding. Man, it is. I mean, it's a painful process. It's definitely a painful process. And so we went as far as we could, but it didn't work.
But how do we step up in that area? Because like I don't know. I think the title of this is going to be stepping up. That's not really going to be the title of it, but whatever. But like, how do we step up in that time? Because that is, I don't want to say stressful, but that is a very taxing time.
Yeah,
like that is a taxing time.
Stressful's right though.
Yeah, it is stressful.
It may or not be. I wasn't trying to paint a general brush.
Yeah, but it can be stressful because she's trying to produce for her kid, and so she's already feeling a certain kind of way because, like I just said, breast milk is important. The nurses are telling her how important breast milk is. My wife was frustrated. She was frustrated because nothing was happening. But we as fathers, we have to be educated because I could have made sure her diet was on point. I could have made sure, the things that help produce milk for our kid, that I was being the one to support that, making sure she wasn't eating fast food, making sure she's getting the rest that she needs. You know what I mean? Making sure she had functioning and available breast pumps, right? So she can pump.
Kev, I'm going to stop you though, because I tried to get my wife some healthy stuff and she literally said, I don't want that crap. Go get me. She's like, I want some real Ben and Jerry, Breyers, ice cream, Bluebell. I want ice cream. I want Chunky Monkey.
But
I want that crap.
Watch this. I feel like we also, it's like accountability, right? It's when you have a brother, when you have a real brother around, you be like, hey, bro, you getting kind of heavy, bro. What's up? You know what I mean? Like,
hey, bro, I noticed you've been at the brewery a lot.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like when you have a real brother, but then you also have to be a real mate. You have to be a real spouse, and she gonna want to be sexy fine in 6 to 8 months. I know I can't make her, but what I can do is educate myself and introduce some things and try to help. Like, we can't make them do anything. Like the women's rights, right? She has the whole right for her body, but then I also have to be an advocate for her. I have to be an advocate for her, and I have to be an advocate for my kid, because even when they're pregnant, if I'm the one causing stress, guess what? My kid is in there stressed out. You know what I mean? If I'm the one that's making her sad, when my kid is in the womb, she's, you know what I mean, passing those feelings along. So when we think about breastfeeding, when we think about nutrition, when we think about exercise, it's being the best advocate for your spouse. It's being the best advocate for your child, because going on a walk, we know that's going to burn the calories. We know breastfeeding burns the most calories. See, and I don't know. I can talk about this all day.
No, I didn't know that.
Yes, it really does, bro. Like, it burns like double the calories that you
breastfeeding burns double the calories, bro.
But yo, Casey, check this out, man. Casey, check this out, bro. What if she, Kev mentioned something. He was just like, yo, she gonna be fine, and 6 to 8 months after that. What if that's not the case? Like, what if that's like what she wants to be, but that's not the reality? Like, everybody's body doesn't react the same. So I'm like, yo, like, what is dad's? What can we do if, hey, she just ain't feeling it? Like, she done put on a couple pounds, it's not going away, and she's kind of just like in this place. I don't want to say the sunken place, but that's the only thing I can think of right now. So that's what I'm gonna say. Hey, you know what I mean? Just like, what if she's just in this place, this headspace, this head fog, where she's just like, yo, okay, especially in America, I don't got a year off. Like, 6 weeks, I'm back. So now it's 4 months. Baby's at daycare. I'm at work full time. I come home. I gotta cook. My husband, he want to get some. I don't got time to work out. So I'm gonna just be like this, and I ain't happy with my body. How can we be advocates at that time? That's a loaded.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
Loaded question.
Before I answer this, can I just clarify? Are we more concerned about, our mothers and wives are feeling after this, or more concerned that they have old white people taking them over? Like, which one is it that we want to really deal with on this moment? Is really anyway. Shoot. You know what it is? It's like, I've been married 10 years, and my wife and I have been together for 13 and a half. And a lot of it really goes back to, like, what you have done. And you go back to, like, making them feel special, making sure that they understand you still have those same feelings from, early on in the relationship, whether that is, a candlelit dinner, whether it's spontaneously bringing those flowers, whether it's showing that you care. And it's something that, we get into these routines, we forget so much, especially when you bring kids into the mix. These are all things that are just, like, forgotten as, like, part of what needs to happen to keep the relationship alive, growing. And if you can do those, if you can remember those every now and then, it doesn't have to be like every day. I'm not going to give anyone a frequency, because what I've realized over time is that when I do gestures and or whatever, people get mad at me because they're like, Casey, no, you're making the rest of us look bad. Stop. So I'm just saying, do it every now and then. Change things up.
What if she's not feeling it, bro? What if she's not feeling it? What if you doing it and she's still just like in this headspace, and she just like, oh, thanks, cool. But then she's just like, you know what I mean? Like,
I feel you. If she matters to you, you got to be patient. Go ahead.
I got you, Casey, man. Hey,
I about to say, look, the FYI, this ain't my wife. I'm just saying, like, the way my mind, the way my mind works, I'm like, yo, listen,
watch this.
Hypothetical.
I've lived through it, right? I've lived through it. My wife has. I think everybody has some kind of sunken place that we get stuck in it at some point, whether it's just your career, whether it's your weight, whether it's parenting, whether it's whatever it is, you're going to get into a place where you're sunken, but we can't save her.
You don't want to be saved.
We can't. I think we really can't. And I think they may feel like they want to be saved, but we can't save them. Does that make sense? Like we all have to learn. Oh man, one of my kids today, we were talking and we were talking. No, it was yesterday. Group of girls. We were talking, and what they were talking about was bouncing back from a failing grade and working very hard to not have the grade that they had in the past. And I was like, that's what you call resilience. We all have to learn how to find our own resilience when we're in those sunken places. Like we have to be able. Even if it's really, 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 really low, you have to be able to lift yourself up to a certain level where I can reach down and help you out. But if you're not working on losing weight, I can't do nothing to help you. Like, you want to lose 20 pounds, but you won't go walking, you won't go running, you won't go working out, you won't go. So I can't do nothing for you, but I could be the example, right? So I can go and I can start lifting, working out. I could go on the walks. I can do all these things. I can do, and then say on Saturday, she's off, the family's off. Instead of me going on a walk, let me make it a family walk. So now at least every Saturday we're getting family time in. Yeah. We're getting exercise in. We're having a good time. And then at the end of the day, maybe it's not 3-5 times a week, but now as a father that notices that my family needs time, healthy time, and exercise, I found something that works for all of us because we got a dog.
I was just because we got a dog. But Casey, reset your router, bro. I'm about to say reset your router because your stuff is done.
I'm saying, man. I was saying
your internet is hit. we will carry this until you get back.
Simple, right? Okay. Let me get this reset now. I'll be back in just a moment. I'm sorry for this.
Yeah, I feel like we should just cut the podcast and then I just piece it back together.
Splice it.
Yeah, just splice it. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna just keep it running and keep it moving, and we're gonna be good. But you did say something, man. You was just bro, if you're not trying to do nothing, I can't help you. Yeah. And I think that's super. Oh man, I wish so many other people would get that because you can't help someone that don't want to be helped. I listened to. I don't know if you know who Ian Dunlap is, but he's he's a stock expert. And bro, he's for the culture. People try to say he ain't for the culture, but bro, he be giving you picks after picks after picks, and he just gives it away, man. But he said something the other day, and he said that, you can give away yourself into poverty. And I think that's the same financially, and I think that's the same emotionally as well. You can give yourself away into poverty, bro. If someone is not appreciating and trying to do it themselves, you got to know when is when, man.
Yeah.
That's just my thing. And as far as Casey was talking about doing little special things and sweet things for your wife, me personally, bro, I keep cards in my truck. I keep little cards to my wife in my truck. And I think I got 3 of them right now. And every now and then I'll just, I'll write a little note in there and I'll buy a king size Reese's because that's the move, because that's what she likes. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or some popcorn. Yeah, you back, but you still, we're going to see what happens.
I'm going to try and stay back.
But no, I'll come back. I'll come with the card, man, little Reese's, and she's be like, oh, you trying to get some?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. Casey missed the whole story.
Yeah, but no.
I mean, I got some of it. All right. For my shameful performance in that first half there, hit me with this. You can just let's go to some hard hitting stuff. Let's get in there and make this good to make up for the lost time. Let's go.
Kev, I know you got something, man. Oh, he got to think about it because I got stuff. But here's the thing. Here's the thing, Casey. I try not to dominate the conversation. So my job is to I'm Dwayne Wade. I'm lobbing it. With y'all LeBron. You know what I'm saying?
But that's how we work, because you'll lob the subject and I'll be like, oh, yeah, bet. Now you're like, hey, what's the subject? And I'm like,
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'm still my mind is still on this, how to be a supporter. Concrete examples being supportive.
I want to go back. I kind of want to go back because
I give a subject, he changes it. Well, no. Go ahead, Kev. Go. KB, go.
I want to go back because we have to realize get you somebody, get you some dads who's going through, like, if you're going through this, what we talking about right now, get you some dads around you that you can relate to and
100%.
that you can talk to, and that their relationship resembles yours either a little bit or something that you hope to be like. And you're not going to be 100% like theirs, but I did mine by myself. I didn't have any younger, or I did, but I didn't go to them.
So you had Jay Hill.
Jay Hill's not married.
Oh, never mind then.
Yeah.
I didn't have no one. I didn't have anyone when I had it first. Like I was the first one in my entire circle to have kids. Yeah. And I remember I've been writing on this like a lot lately. I do a ton of writing, and I was writing just how isolating, how lonely it can be, where you're just kind of like the one. And I remember going back to like my old life. 3 weeks in, finally got like Sarah was asleep, baby's asleep. I'm like, okay, I probably have like 2 hours to go out and kind of see what's going on, like reconnect with everyone. And in 3 weeks, it was just so different. Everything had changed. All the stuff that used to matter to me didn't matter anymore. And it's just like, if you don't have a circle around you of other dads who get it, like it makes all the difference. 100%.
Yeah. And I think so this is what links to what we were talking about earlier, is because now we're completely isolated and standalone men because we're trying to adjust and don't have anybody to lean on and to encourage us, but we need to step up. Well, shit. How do
you do both at the same time?
Like how can I step up?
How you do both at the same time?
But I am washing the clothes. I am cleaning. But how much more can I step up? You know,
it's the impossible ask.
Right? But this is for the real fathers, right? This is for the real fathers. And when I say the real fathers, you can't tell me you playing video for 6 hours and you're wondering how can you step up.
Who plays video games for 6 hours?
Hey, bro, it's some out there, bro.
I don't know the last time I touched my Xbox Live. I wish I could get on Fortnite.
But this is the thing. This is the thing. My kid has an iPad or has their PlayStation or has whatever they have, a TV, whatever they have. So I'm jumping on the system and I'm playing whatever I have. So you're absently present. Does it make sense? You're there in the house.
It's not quality time.
Exactly. So not for y'all. Y'all need to first be present. But for us who, man, I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm washing clothes, I'm vacuuming, I'm taking care of dogs, and some things fall off. Like for me, I had to check myself this week because I looked at the cars and I was like, dang, I need to do some work. You know what I mean? But I'm doing the car work, I'm doing the oil change, and then you're saying step up even more. So not step up even more, but surround yourself around men who can help you with what you already got. Like, and have the right conversations at the right moments. Like, I know you frustrated, but she's going through what she's going through too. And so we don't have that. We're stuck in isolation because we're supposed to be the man. We're supposed to step up even more. We're supposed to give more. Well, God dog it, I didn't gave all I can give, and I ain't got nothing else to give. And so I think, number one, as dads, we don't spend 8 months, 9 months with the kid. She does. So immediately after that, you still don't spend 6, 12, 18 weeks with the kid because she's nursing. She's trying to do her thing as a mother, and you feel left out. And that's when the isolation is like, well, damn, I'm in it by myself. I go to work, I come home, I wanna hug, I wanna be, but the baby, and then when she's not with the baby, you're with the baby, and then you're not giving them the bath like you want her to give the bath, and you're not making food like she wants you to make the food, and you're not feeding her right? Like, I don't know. I've been, and not that I've personally been through it really hard, but these are the scenarios that I think of. I mean, not me, well, because I had, I'm trying to make it sound right. I ain't trying to get in trouble. But
you're not wrong.
But your mama I always talk about co-parenting, right? So I have my style. Dads always have their style. Moms will always have their style. So you're gonna, and that's another stressor, right? I want to raise my kid this way. Well, nope, you can't. I'm about to spank her. Don't you hit my kid. All right. So how we go correct this situation? You know what I mean? But we do get into isolation early as fathers. And so you have to get into some group of men who are dads, who are older, who have similar relationships as you, who has similar relationships you hope to reach up to become, and let us and lean on them, like really lean on them, so that you don't get yourself in a situation where you're almost in a divorce over something silly.
Well, I mean,
okay. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, let's take it back to the fatherhood fraternity. I'm just gonna talk. I'm gonna talk, Josh. Let me talk. Let me get out there. All right. Internet working fine now. Thank you. So I was gonna take it back to the fatherhood fraternity. You know, like if you look on Clubhouse, the big thing for me on that one has not been so much, you know, the dads who've been at it for a while and they're finding other dads that they can share their stories with. It's all these dads coming in who have only been dads for like 6 to 12 months, and they are figuring it out. They are out there on their own, especially in a pandemic. Like they have just been like in this world unto their own, and they just don't know really what they need, what they're trying to accomplish, all that kind of stuff. So I'm seeing the dad spaces in both the physical and virtual formats where it's just like you need it however you can get it. Because you're right. If you don't have others to bounce ideas off of or whatever, it's not like a matter of right and wrong and knowing if you're doing things correctly or not, but you don't get exposed to the entire diversity of thought out there and approaches to things. Because what we end up doing as dads, and moms do this like naturally, they just figure this out like day one. But what we do as dads is that we take all these pieces together of everything we learn from all the experiences, what we see happen with other dads, things our kid does that we can take from kid one to kid two, etc. And we kind of make this patchwork approach to fatherhood that comes from all of it. But if you don't have all of that, it gets a lot harder because all you have is this, and it doesn't always work out well if you just have your view and nothing else.
And I want to say, it is a huge difference if you had a father in your life. The older I get, the more I'm like, that's my daddy. You know, like seriously, the more I see the way that I move around my house, I'm like, oh, my daddy, you know, and it just hits me in those little flashes. And I'm like, oh, okay. That's why I am, or I function the way that I function. So I can see the difference between the two. So if you didn't have a father in your life or a male figure in your life, definitely surround yourself around good men that you want to aspire to. Now, Jay Hill is not a married person, but he is a wonderful friend. Like he's a magnificent friend who's like, he'll give you the bachelor response, right? Like, hey, bro, like, no, you don't need to do that. But shit, you're a grown ass man. If you make that decision here, you know, hit the key. You know what? You know, something mess. Hey, but you're a man, and you got to make your decisions. But you know, but it's also good to have a real person who sees you for who you are, who loves you for who you are, that you can be vulnerable with, and not just them to you, but you to them as well.
Definite. Okay, Josh, go ahead now, Josh. Your turn. It's your turn.
Man, so here's the thing. All I was gonna say was, Kev, like, bro, there's nothing new under the sun. Like there's nothing new under the sun. Like when we talk about issues at work, there's nothing new. When we talk about, issues with our spouse, there's nothing new. It's the same thing for dads, man. And there's nothing new about being a dad. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker, bro. Like whatever situation you're in, wherever you're at, whatever you're dealing with, like you're not the first person to have to deal with this. And you're not the first person in your circle to have to deal with this. And so if you surround yourselves with the fatherhood fraternity, you know, with the Dads on Purpose virtual group, whatever group you decide to surround yourself with, like, those are subtle plugs, by the way. Like whoever you decide to surround yourself with, like there are gonna be answers. I promise you, like there are gonna be answers for whatever you're going through. And you just need to make sure that you're surrounding yourself with those type of people.
Yeah, definitely. And your circle, if I think, as Casey said something, like he was like, he started to notice, like he didn't want to go out, so he started making excuses like, I gotta stay at home. You know what I mean? And I think that happened to me too. Naturally, as a father, you naturally want to retreat to protect your baby, to protect your family, to protect. So naturally retreating that is going to turn off some of the dudes in your life, because now, you know, either they recognize that you've entered into a new stage in your life and you can't do what they do anymore, or they just not good for your family, you know. And I think we have to recognize that too. I think sometimes in young fathers, you still bringing around the dudes that
should maybe not be around. Maybe not be around.
But that's real though, Kev, because like you talk about circles and things like that. Like you start retreating and stuff like that. What I noticed is that, okay, once I had one kid, I wasn't hanging around dads that didn't have any kids. Once I had two kids, I started to hang around more dads that had more than one kid. And it was just like, you don't resonate with my situation. Like, yo, you want me to come to your birthday party, but y'all not starting until 7 p.m. Bro, my kids are asleep. Like my kids are asleep, bro. But like, and here's another thing, man. I have a really good friend of mine. Man, good fraternity brother of mine. He's probably like 6-7 years older than me. We're great friends. Matter of fact, I got married at his backyard. He just offered up his backyard, beautiful backyard. He was just like, hey, you can have it for free. So I was like, yo, run it. Nice. But what he told me was that I'm married, I have kids, I don't need any new friends. And it wasn't like no shade or nothing. He was just like, bro, he's like, I don't want to go hang out with you. Like my free time, he's like, I work hard. And my very few free time that I have, I'm going to spend it with my family. I'm going to spend it with my kids. And he's like, yo, so if you want to chill, come on over. I got 2 dogs. I got a pool.
Oh my gosh. Yes. Come chill. Oh, I tell people this all the time. It's like, yo, you want to find me? I'm in the same place every freaking day. Come to my house.
I'm at. I was about to give him an address on Algo's internet, but I decided not to.
Man, but that's real, man. And I think it's funny because people be like, where you been? Why you ain't hit me up? Like, hey, bro, I got a family, you know. And I think for me, it's been a little difficult because I had to transition from going to Houston every weekend, every other weekend. Then we got married, so it was like every month. Then we had a kid. It was like,
and that's a 4-hour drive.
You know what I mean? But I used to, you know, I mean, shoot, we were young. We didn't have any kids. It was like, let's hit the road. You know, hit the road at midnight.
For 4 hours?
Yeah, bro.
Better you than me.
Hey, man. Let's not talk about those years.
Look. Listen. My best friend to this day lives in Austin. That's 3 hours away. I ain't seen my man in about 4 years.
Yeah.
But that's the understanding, right? Like my best friends are dads, and like we can go. I'll drop them a line like every few weeks, be like, "Yo, just check in and just say what up," right? But it's like you don't see each other for months on end, and it's fine because y'all know you got things to do.
Yes,
you understand.
Yes, and that was the beautiful thing about Jay Hill, because even though he wasn't a dad, he's a father. And so I would go to his son's soccer games, his son's football games, his son's baseball. Like when he got into baseball, man, we would take road trips to, you know, they went to a baseball camp or any other camp. So that's how we spent a lot of our time as brothers and as fathers. Right. So that's what made that a little bit easier for me in my transitions and the things that I was going through. But yeah, man, it's real out there. It's real out there. I had to write that down, Casey. We might need to do something, Dad. 6 to 12 months. Like seriously, like 6 to 12. Very critical age is a very critical time, because not even. So we're talking about stepping up, and we've been talking about to the mother, but even stepping up for the kid, like intentionally bear to bear holding your baby. Like come home, take your shirt off. These are times intentionally spending time with your kid. Like we're talking in 6 to 12 months. A lot of fathers don't get that they need to spend that time because they haven't had that time. And so the best way is to be present and you don't have to do nothing. Feed them, hold them, change the diaper, move on. You know what I mean? And I I think that some kids are afraid. I mean, some fathers are afraid, because it's a new baby. I don't know. I don't want to hold them. But I don't want to keep them. And like for teen fathers, listen, teen mamas, do your breast pumping, give them the milk, sit in the milk with them, let him keep the baby overnight. Give him the opportunity to keep him. I know, right, Josh? Like, because they don't do that. That's my baby. I have to keep my baby. But if he's the father, we get left off the chain so much, right? So that's why it's hard for us to step up. We naturally get shut out, and we're fighting. Sometimes we're tired of fighting, trying to fight to get in. Where I'm encouraging us to be patient. Hang in there, learn, study, get some information, and go in that route too. Don't go in just saying, "Well, I heard on Dad on Purpose podcast," but get your scientific research together too, brother, because it's out there. Yeah, breastfeeding is good, but get the numbers and get the confidence to have the conversations.
Bro, I'll never forget the first time my wife left our oldest kid with me. She didn't even leave the baby with me overnight. She went to like a basketball game with her work. She was home by like 10. And man, I'll never forget this, man. I was just like, the whole time I was freaking out. I was like, the baby's like, she a couple months old. And so she ain't doing nothing. She just chilling. And I was like, just freaking out, bro. Like, what I'm gonna do with this baby? Like, you want me to stay with her from like 5 until she go to bed at 8? Like, what we gonna do? Like, and then I'm sitting there putting it in the bed, like, bro. And it's like I was frightened, and I was just like, matter of fact, I was texting one of my I don't want to say mentors, but he's my wife's best friend's dad. He's like one of my dads, and so I was like, bro, I was like, I get it. I get why you cried at your daughter's wedding. I was like, I get why you wrote that. You know what I mean? Like, I was just like, this is a moment I'll never forget. But I was scared to death. But I was like, I got it. And I feel like if dads don't have that moment, you're gonna miss out on that aha moment. I can't explain it. I don't know what it is, but it's just like, this is what I'm supposed to do.
Yep. You know what? You triggered a memory in my head that, there's moments that stick with you forever as a dad that you don't think about them actively all the time. But, if you're in the right conversation, they come back and they flood in and they just remember who you were at that time.
Don't cry.
And so I'm not going to cry. Don't worry. Hold up. So this was 4 years ago or so. So my wife has her sister out in Calgary, like 4 hours, 4-hour flight west of where I'm at. And she went to visit her with my youngest son. So he was like 1.5 at the time. And so she goes with him for 5-6 days or whatever, and leaves me alone with a 3.5-year-old for a week. I can't even tell you, I was ready to fall apart at the freaking seams. Because, here's the thing. I think a lot of dads can relate to this. Dads go in with a plan of okay, you give me this time. This is how it's going to work out. Day 1's going to be this. Day 2 is going to be this. It's going to be great. I'm going to have time with my kid. We're going to bond. It's going to be great. Everything goes south. Everything goes to crap. And I just remember I was doing a 2.5-hour drive to take him to this, apple farm that's great for kids, and I got hit with torrential rain. Everything was rained out. I had to drive him 2.5 hours back, and I was ready to just bawl in this car because I was just everything had gone so wrong. Man. And when my wife finally came back at the end of this week, I was just kind of I didn't even know what to tell. I was just broken. I was broken as a man for a few days until I just kind of got back into our groove. But yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about you have to do things at a certain time or else the kid won't react well. They thrive on routine. You can try and throw all the fun at them in the world. One thing I've realized recently is that, one thing we want to do as parents is give our kids more than we had, which is great. Great, good for you. Yeah. But there's an upper limit to that. There is a too much. I've had to take away video games and tablets and all this other stuff throughout the pandemic because it got to a point where just y'all don't appreciate anything. Y'all appreciate nothing. We're not doing any of this anymore. And I just start taking things away. And, you know, in the beginning, there was like tantrums and tears, but they haven't had a lot of the stuff for like 2-3 months now. And they're having the time of their frigging lives because now they're just like, they're starting to experiment more with imagination and they're starting to like play with each other. And what I've also realized, I really like what you said earlier about the older you get, Kev, you're talking about the more you see your dad in you. I was like, oh, heck yeah. Because like, I literally hear like one of them whine. I show up in the room. I'm like, what now? What's going on? And they're like, nothing, daddy. Nothing. Everything's fine. I'm like, that's what I thought. And walk off. And Sarah's just kind of like, how? And I'm like, because I'm scary. I'm a scary parent. You got to have like a line between fear, they love you, but they fear you and they respect you somewhere in the middle of that.
Right in the middle. Oh, I love it, bro. I love it. And I think that you said something very important there. Routine. You gotta get a routine. And that's one of the biggest things that I work on with teen parents is like, you can't let your kids stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning with you. Why are you up until 1 o'clock in the morning? Like, you know,
ain't nothing open after the midnight and their mind.
but you gotta, and even just young first time dads, like we push against the routine because we want to hang out with our kid and we hadn't got to see him all day and such and such. Stick to the routine. The routine is the best thing you can do. It'll help with transitions in life, and then it doesn't have to be prescribed how somebody prescribes it. Like, mine was loosey goosey, but it works. You know, like. She know when I say it's time to go to bed, it's time to go to bed. Like, but
you can do a lot of thinking outside the box. You know, I've heard dads who do like split shifts. So they do like an early shift, get home to do breakfast and drop off kids at school, go back to work and finish a shift early enough they can come home for dinner. And like you can work like maybe it doesn't work this way in the States. You guys have some weird rules down there. You guys like six weeks of like mat leave. Like, yo, that's horrible. Anyway,
and it doesn't even have to be paid.
Yeah, shoot that. All I'm saying is that sometimes think outside the box as a dad. Find other things that work for you and your family, because what you'll find is the longer you dad, the more you understand that your family and the rules of how you have to raise your kid is individual to your family. You can listen to advice up to a point. Like, I think advice is good up until you about your kids like 2-3 years old, maybe. And then after that, it's like, good luck. None of that advice is going to work for your kid. You will have to figure out your own child and how that works in the context of your family. And the more you practice that and the more you go intentionally thinking about that, the more it all makes sense. And you have to figure out what works for you and your job and your commitments and everything else so that you can put family first. Because ultimately, that's what's going to be left with you at the end of the day. When you're done all the work, when you're done everything else, you're going to still have that family around you. So you better treat them right.
Hey, advice is good, but you still got to make a decision. It's like, Dave Ramsey is good for some people, like live debt free, only pay cash, Like, that's great advice. That's not what I'm living by.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But there's good advice. Kev, you got to go ahead and say something because I'm about to shut us down.
I know you about to shut it down. That's why I was gonna try to jump in before I seen him. Look, he said. I was like, "Yep, he about to shut it down."
No, I was thinking. I was listening to Casey. That point when it's like this, I don't know.
But no, Casey. So in the maternity leave, the wife 12 to 18 months. Does the father get 12 to 18 months as well?
You could split it.
You can split it. Yeah. So basically, like it used to be a 12-month system, and essentially you could have up to 5 months as, per parent. And then there's another 2 months of like top up on top of that. So it all depends on where you work. But my wife and I, for example, we're both government workers. And so we're fortunate in that, the 12 months you take off as a mom, you get paid like basically 100% of your job.
What?
And yeah, and then after that, then you come back after that year, you have your job and you go back to your routine. But they've done a lot in Canadian law to make sure that you have that time to bond with your kid and to build that relationship before you have to jump back into the fire. So it's if you are in a situation with your spouse, like up in Canada, I will say that you can take the time and take extra time with the kids. Great. What I did personally is that I knew my wife needed that time. So I took a month for the first kid at the end of the 12 months. And then we took like a trip to Chicago and like do other stuff. She took a month of vacation. We just hung out with the kid for a month to spend all that time together. And then with the second one, you know, daycare is mad expensive over here. So what she did is that, so she took I think, you know, you can go anywhere from about in Toronto, you can go from about anywhere from $1,200 to $2,000 a month. Yeah. Per kid. Yeah.
Per kid? No discount?
Per kid. No discount, no. Mm-mm. So what you often do, like, you know, instead of, you know, when you have two kids, what often happens is that you'll extend that mat leave and take a leave from work, a leave of absence until that first kid is in like kindergarten. And then that way, you know, you kind of offset it so you can like get him and say, there's a strategy to all of this. I swear. So I just say it. Like, so what I did is I just
so poor.
I didn't lie. Did I stutter?
No, I'm just saying that's a lot.
Strategy. Child raising strategy. So yeah, no, I just work shorter hours at work. That's like I moved to as close as home as possible for my job. And I'd work like, you know, I'd get out for let's say 8 and then work till 4 so I could be home for like 4:30. And I try to make myself as available as possible in that hours where everyone was awake. But as I was saying, you just have to make your adjustments and find a way to make it work. But mat leave up here is pretty amazing. The fact that, you know, moms and dads alike they can't legally have their jobs taken away because they decided to go have kids.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's expanded a lot too. It's expanded to adoptive parents, foster parents, like all of them. Yeah, they all fall under the umbrella of like you should all have the same rights because regardless of the kid situation, kids still have the same basic needs from kid to kid to kid. So no matter how you have that kid in your life, you know, you need to make some sort of legal leeway in order to make sure that the parents have time to adjust to the new situation.
Man, I think that was really cool sharing that because you talked about being a creative dad and the opportunity. So all of my Canadian fathers, if you're listening to this, like you guys have a great opportunity to have flexible work schedules. Definitely, you said move closer to where you work so that you can get home quicker.
Yeah, that's good.
And then when you are present with your family, be present. Like, don't use that time for personal time. Schedule that somewhere else. Be present with your kids, man. So my Canadian dads, while you're up there and you have that flexibility, man, definitely take advantage of that, bro. Because we here got to become LLCs to make that happen. But it works.
You find ways, but shoot.
But it works,
bro. I want to end this on like a light note. Like, what is something that grinds your gears about parenting? So, like for me, one of the things is, so Casey, you kind of hit on it. You were like, "Yo, like you want your kids to have more than you had before," and whoop and blah blah blah. So my thing is like when I provide you with more than I had, and then you don't use it. For example, I got my 2-year-old an iPad so she can do ABC Mouse. Well, it was a long conversation, and but it's actually great. Like ABC Mouse, I don't know if you know what it is. It's a learning. Yeah, it's fantastic. She is awesome at it, and she's learned her colors through that. She's learned so much through that. But when she don't use it for like a week, I'm like, and this is petty of me, I'm like, I'm still paying $10 a month for ABC Mouse. So I'm gonna need, so it's like, I don't want her to be on the iPad, but I also want her to be outside. And I'm like,
she do.
Yeah.
She's 2. Like,
yeah.
What the?
So if you met my daughter, you would like. If you met my daughter, it's crazy. If you met my daughter, like you would understand because she's not like.
Okay.
I don't know. She's not like a typical 2-year-old.
Okay.
I need you to stop wasting daddy money and get on ABC Mouse, play some games, pop some balloons, clean your aquarium.
But she too.
But no. But so here's the thing. Even whether she's 2 or whether she's 10, it's just like you're providing them with something, and then it's to their benefit.
I want to hear Casey. Casey,
But then
I got mine.
Why are you wasting money? You know what I mean?
I got mine.
I feel Josh. I feel you. That's not going to change. That's going to be, that's a lifelong thing because my kids are 7 to 5, and for them, money is just kind of like this, infinite resource. And we're not hard up, but at the same time, we're not hard up for a reason. Not wasting money on stupid things that they want on like a whim, and it's like use it once, and it's like, oh yeah, now use the thing, and it's great. We got our money's worth. I'm like, I'm gonna kill you. No, stop. Anyway, mine is more along the. I realize more and more over time that I am so driven by respect. Respect is so huge for me to the point where it's like, manners. Like I drill hard on manners. So like, kid asked me, here's a good version of like an exchange between me and my kids. Daddy, can I have some milk? And I'll just be like doing my thing, reading whatever. Daddy, can I have some milk? Daddy, can I please have some milk? Oh yeah, sure, cool. And then I pour the milk for them. I hand the milk over and they grab it and they're about to walk away and it's still in my hand. And then I'll get it back because like, thank you, Daddy. Oh, you're welcome. Enjoy. And I'm just so stubborn. I'm so stubborn when it comes down to P's and Q's because I'm just kind of like, listen, when you operate outside of this house, like you have to have all this down because I want to make sure that you know how to operate in the real world. So like respect is like the ultimate. And it's great because every time they go to someone else's house, I get like, oh, your kid's so polite. They're so nice. And I'm like, who are you talking about? Like my children are monsters. They run through this house like they don't care about anything and they leave messes, they leave lights on, like they don't have manners. Like what is going on?
But when they go out,
they're angels. They are wonderful. Like they have.
Why did my daughter ask my wife the other day? She's like, "What? Why are you cleaning up? What do you mean?" Because that's what we do. Yeah. She's like, "Why are you cleaning up, Mama?" Man, this is your mess. Anyway, continue.
I'm just saying, it's respecting, respecting your elders, respecting each other, respecting themselves, and respecting the space they live in. Those are kind of the 4 main things I kind of drill into them all the time. And they're getting it. Like the 7-year-old, he's really starting to get it where I can see the wheels turning and he's started to understand, cause and effect. So he's understanding that. And it's kind of horrible in that they could talk to Sarah differently than they talk to me. Like she's like, Mom, no, you don't understand. And she's like, you know what? No, it's okay, babe. Let's calm down, talk about this. And he tries once with me. He's like, Dad. He's like, oh, who you think you're talking to? Do I? I'm like, I tell him all the time. Do I look like your mother? Do I look like your mother? No. Don't get it twisted, bro. Don't get it twisted. It's like, not today, son. Not today.
No, not today.
So that's my thing. Respect up to the utmost is my thing.
I love it.
JB, where you at, man?
For me, it's utilizing your full resources, and I guess it's a comeback to you, Josh, because hey, bro, it's transitions, right? So, I still have the dragon. She begged for this, y'all. She begged for this dragon. Bought the dragon, and she probably played with the dragon for about a year and just set it on the shelf. You know what I mean? But we were kind of strategic.
How old was she?
She was like 2. She was young. She was young, bro.
I'm seeing a theme here. I'm seeing a theme, guys.
Yeah, but around 2, and I tell all of my kids, I say, hey, bro, up to 2 to 3, you might be okay because they're not asking for nothing. But around 2, she's asking for things. For us, we were a little bit strategic. We had the Christmas list and the birthday list. So it's stuff that we felt was like, she ain't gonna play with that. Put that on your birthday list. Put that on your Christmas list. Things that we felt were of value, like your tap shoes, your ballet shoes, your uniforms, and stuff like that. Those are the type of things we tried to put all of our resources towards, because now she's getting the best of both worlds, right? So we're pouring into her talents and her gifts, and family and friends can buy the gifts. You know what I mean? Like when your birthday comes, you can get all that crap. You can get everything you put on your wish list. But as far as what you want to be in dance, you want to be, you voice lessons and all the things that we do for our kid, we made sure we were intentional in doing those things for her. And so I think that's, but at times they get everything that we can offer them and still don't advance, but it's transition, right? So it's just going to take her time to get to a place that we want her to be. And she's not. And I think we look at our kids and say, why you not like those kids? Or wow, there's so many kids being millionaires, and you're tinkering with the same things. Why can't you, excel like that? And so what we have to do is pull back and say, this is my child and this is who she is. How can I help her where she's at? And how can I help her expand?
That's a really good point.
So I think, 7, 5, 2, and what age, Josh? 2 and what?
11 months.
2 and 11 months.
Okay.
So I'm at 12 years. So we've transitioned from, and being intentional, but we've transitioned. So I got a piano that's collecting dust in there.
Oh, the piano. Everyone got a piano.
Right?
Everyone got a piano.
No, they don't.
But she's in piano classes at school. So we kind of back that up. So even if she never plays the piano here, I know she's getting the lessons at school. She wants a ukulele. You got to work for that because I just,
that's the little.
That's the little one.
Okay. The mini guitar.
And she wants a guitar. So it's like, okay, what are we going to do?
She didn't want a job. That's what.
but watch this. You talked about, wanting our kids to get better than what we have. That's what my mom and dad charged me with. Like they can't have anything less than what I had. So when I was playing the violin, they bought the violin. When I was playing the bass guitar, they bought the bass guitar. I think they even paid for bass guitar lessons, football equipment, cleats.
But that's that intergenerational growth right there. That's something I drive home all the time. I agree with you entirely, Kevin, that, my mom and dad had to work, not the greatest jobs to make sure that we had the opportunity to go to school and do better that we could do. And I have a job where I can, work my job, but still work on my passions on the side, in order to make sure I can do the best possible for my family. And the goal there is like, where your daughter's at now, where I'm aiming for my kids to be is in the spot where they don't have to hustle as hard to start off on the path of being able to go for what they dream and what their ambitions are, because we're laying the groundwork now so they can just go in there off the jump. And I feel you on that. Like a lot of it goes back to the entire idea of like, you move past the physical and material stuff and move into the space of like, but who is it you want to be? And how can I as a dad help foster the environment that you can be the person you want to be when you're ready to go out there into the world? So that's what I'm feeling. That's what's resonating with me when I hear you talk, man.
Yeah.
Bro, I posted something. Go ahead, Kevin.
No, and I think that's definitely my only job. Like, I got to be a protector, but I got to make sure she has a roof over her head. But if I have not helped her discover what her gift and her talent is, hey, y'all, she wants to be in musical theater. I ain't sugarcoat nothing. Hey, you go live in a 500 square foot apartment with 5 other people. Like this is what
all
life is
musty.
All musty. You know what I mean?
They all musty.
But I think some parents, especially fathers, we want the best for them. And so we try to push them what we think could be good for them instead of meeting them where they are and helping expand them where they are. Listen, I'm done. I know my brother trying to get out of here. He rubbing the eyes and stuff.
No, this whole episode, my eyes just been like, it's been killing me. So I'm no, but what I was gonna say is like, I posted something a couple weeks ago, and I don't know where it was at. It was IG, Facebook, whatever. But it was simply that, I'll be the last person in my family that has to get it out the mud. Yeah. Like, regardless, like if something happens to me tomorrow, my wife knows what to do with the insurance money. She know who to call. Now, if something happens to both of us, I probably need to let the other person know what they need to do with the money. But I ain't got there yet. But you know what I mean? And so it's either going to be like, either whether I'm going to be here or whether I'm not, there is a plan going to be set in place so that you don't got to get it out the mud like everybody since the beginning of time that in our bloodline looks like or whatever had to do. So that's my goal. So if you want to start a business, cool. We're going to have money. We're going to have money for that. We're going to start a trust so that you can borrow from that trust and pay the trust back. And if the trust keeps paying you money, okay, you want to go to dance class. Cool. We're going to do this over here. Let's buy a property next to the dance class so you can live in that place. And then, you know what I mean? Like there's a plan. Whatever you want to do, you got it, baby girl.
And y'all, with these gifts and talents, instead of getting gifts for your birthday, hey man, if that dance class is $1,500, hey man,
you ain't going.
I mean, nah, bro. Listen to me. What I'm saying. Instead of them buying them raggedy toys that's gonna break and not be useful, that they paying $25, $30 for, give me a certificate or gift card so I can go pay for the dance class. Because see, not everybody is in the position. They see their kids have gifts and their kids aren't getting, and I guess I see this. I work in Title I district right now. A lot of kids have great gifts, but they're lacking the development, the pouring into, because I can't afford it. And so since I can't afford it, you can't go. Well, instead of me buying you some Jordans, I'm gonna take that $150 and at least pay for one class. Instead of me, buying polo shirts, I'm gonna take the $15 that we can buy a Walmart shirt, and then I could, because you never know wherever your child goes. If you talk to the owner, something could happen. We have to get to a point where no matter what level we are financially, hey y'all, can I be real with y'all?
Go ahead.
Kendall got to figure out how she gonna go to college. If she wants to go to college in America, there's way too much money and way too much ways for her to work her way through college on scholarships, grants, and all of that.
Yeah.
So for her, I'm like, hey, if that's something that you want to do, we support you and we'll get you there, but you should be able to go to college for free. That's your goal. Your goal is to be able to go to college for free. And if you can do that, we support you 100%. We'll help out everywhere else we can. But you should not, if that's your dream, that's your goal, and that's your desire. We got to give, and I think a lot of parents are sending their kids to, we could talk all night. But
yeah, I'm about to say we going.
Yeah, but that's whole left. But we have to definitely pour into the gifts of our kids, no matter what financial level you are. Instead of buying stuff that they don't need, recruit that stuff to get what they need in order for them to live in their gifts. And to me, when you're doing that, you're being a really good father, and not the football star that you thought you would have been and wanted to be, and you pouring that into your kid.
Yeah, so here's the happen case. We start talking about other things, and it's just like, oh, we got to go down this path. And so I try to stop us because I know what's going to happen, because then we have 2-hour episodes, which ain't nothing wrong with that. But it's just like, I just try to keep it focused, man.
I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I get excited.
No. Here's the thing. Here's the beauty of that, Kev, is that we talk about these things and we bring up these subjects, but then it's like, okay, let's do a whole other podcast for that, because I don't want to devalue that. I don't want to take away from that. Because there's some gems, there's some nuggets that we need to talk about that we can't just talk about in this one episode, man. Yeah. I just listened to a book by Simon Sinek called Leaders Eat Last. Great book. I listen to audiobooks. It's 9 hours. Don't remember everything that was talked about in there. So I'm like, bro, can you give me the 5-hour version? It would have been way better for me. But that's
why I read, so I can highlight and go back.
Well, it's an audiobook, so I can't highlight nothing. But I'm on chapter 26, and I'm like, and he's referencing things that were in chapter 3. I'm like, bro, I didn't listen.
That was weeks ago.
Anyways, before we get out of here, man, this has been awesome. This has been amazing.
This was good. Yeah,
I wish I had more wine though, but it is what it is. It's in the
ran out.
I know, but I didn't want to be that guy. I didn't want to be that.
No, Josh. Next time we can be that guy together. Next time, don't worry. You and I.
Hey, I'm on empty too. So
yeah. What y'all got? Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we get out here? Don't make it long. I don't need no long. Man, you know what? Give me words of encouragement for dads to step up.
All right. You know what? One thing that Kev said earlier really stuck with me in a piece I put out a few years back, and it was called "Give Me Some Room to Fail." What we often do with dads is not even give them the chance to fail and figure things out and become better fathers. And we need to give them the room to fail, to do things their own way, whether that's cooking, whether that's cleaning, whether that's changing, what have you. And if we can do that as a society, give a little more leeway, let them mess up once or twice and bounce back from it, we're going to end up with better dads, y'all. So give all the dads out there some room to fail so they can figure this stuff out. And I promise you, we're going to have a better crop of dads for the next generation.
Yo, that's going to be a clip. Soundbite.
Soundbite.
Yeah, where you at, man?
Man, I really don't have anything else to add to what we said, man. Y'all
just what I want to hear.
I know, bro. But listen. But for real, like fatherhood is definitely hard. Fatherhood can get lonely. Man, check out Fatherhood Fraternity on Clubhouse. Check out Fatherhood Fraternity and Dad Influencers on Instagram. Check out my boy Casey Palmer. Definitely check him out with his blog posts and things that he has going on in Canada. Check out Dads on Purpose virtual meetup first Sundays. It's been great. I'm working 3 times a week this month. But it's a great challenge as brothers trying to grow as fathers, as spouses, and as men. And listen to this Dad on Purpose podcast, man. I went back through some of those episodes, man, and we got some good stuff that's present and that's recent here. So make sure as a man, there's no reason for you not to be connected. As a father, there's absolutely no reason why you should not be connected. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna show y'all something that really helped me. Dr. Miles Monroe, Fatherhood Principles. Like if you trying to figure something out, you're a godly man, or you just need some principles to go by, man. That book is an awesome book. This is not a plug for it, but it has helped me in my growth as a father. And I think that at times when you're in a lonely spot, a book or information is what'll help you be resilient to stand up so you can reach for a hand up and be pulled out.
I like it. I love it. I want some more. Anyways, yo, episode 31, man. It's in the bag. I think this is 31. We on 30 something, man. We've been doing this. Yo, every week a new episode. Like every week a new episode. And
31 strong.
We recording right now at 10 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time in America. I'm tired. No, man, but I appreciate you, brothers, man. Everybody that's listening, yo, I appreciate you guys. Man, till next week, take care. Like the podcast, subscribe to the podcast, share the podcast, leave some comments, tell your mama, tell your cousin, tell your uncle, tell all of them, because we're really, really trying to shape this whole father thing, man. Don't do it by yourself. And so there's somebody out there. It's like I'm the preacher, man, at the end. If you know somebody. but seriously, man, there's a dad out there that is just like looking for this podcast, bro. And that's not even like bigging ourselves up, but there are dudes out there that are looking for this and that need this information. So don't be shy, share it with them. But until next week, y'all take care, be great. Peace.